Assalamualaikum and a very good day for Dr. Nurhayati binti Abdullah. So me and my other group members will be presenting to you about project evaluation for determination of formaldehyde in cigarette using gas chromatography and HPLC. So our group consists of 5 members, which is Nurul Shafinas binti Zaharul. The second one is Siti Farah Edina binti Nur Azam. The third member is Mariam binti Muhammad Jais. The fourth member is Muhammad Farihin bin Abdul Rashid. And the last member, which is me, which is Azim Haris bin Fauzi.
Okay, now let's proceed to introduction. So, this experiment was conducted to identify the amount of formaldehyde present in cigarette smoke using GC, which is gas chromatography, and also HPLC, which is high process liquid chromatography. So, GC is a method for analyzing volatile compounds in gas phase, while HPLC is a method for separating, identifying, and quantifying components in the mixture. So the smoke sample is extracted and then passed through a column that separates the component based on size and their charge. So basically, these two methods are really accurate to provide a good result. So there are no fault error while doing so. Next, for the chemical instruments. So in this experiment, we have variable or we have various of instruments, which is we have formaldehyde, and then we have the cigarette, and then we have the gas chromatography. Else we have a separative funnel. Then we have LNA mask and also high performance liquid chromatography.
So for the next is a method. So for the first method, the separatory funnel 1 liter containing aqueous solution 200 ml of derivatizing agent were attached to a vacuum lens. Next, open through the evacuation, the stopcock was closed. A cigarette was inserted into the end of the separatory funnel and lit. The stopcock opened to collect smoke. Next, once the cigarette was completely burned or the vacuum in separatory funnel was no longer present, the stopcock was closed and the separatory funnel was shaken vigorously until the smoke was in solution. For the third, the sample was transferred to a 250 ml helium flask and mixed with the magnetic stereo for about 30 to 45 minutes. Thiazolidine solution were extracted 4 times with chloroform, 50 ml each. The external standard 2,4,5-trimethylthiazole thiazole was added and the final volume was brought to 200 ml in volumetric flask. The extract was injected into a GC equipped with a DB1 capillary column, either an NPD or NFPD. 2,4-dinitrohydrazine solution were extracted with the C18 solid phase extraction cartridge eluted with acetyl and the final volume was brought to 25 ml in a volumetric flask. The extraction was injected into HPLC and UV detector set to 365 nanometer. Water blank preparation consists of extracting non-smoke exposed derivatizing solution while smoke blank were prepared by substituting pH 8 dioionized water or 0.02 and HCl respectively. And at the end, standard curve were plotted in terms of amount of standard injection versus peak area ratio. So, I'll pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mariam binti Muhammad Jais. My ID number is KH22020. So today I would like to present the result from our second project that cover about determination of formaldehyde in cigarette by using GC analysis and HPLC analysis. This is the result for GC analysis. As we can see, there are 6 components. 6 components that were easily separated by using this method. In figure 1a, this result for sample GC standard, while figure 1b is result for smoke sample. For HPLC analysis, figure 2a is result about sample HP analysis standard, while the next one is figure 2b about smoke sample for HPLC analysis. In this experiment, GC and HPLC analysis were used to see the presence of formaldehyde in cigarette smoke, although as we can see, the acetaldehyde seems to be present in large amount. As I mentioned before, in figure 1a, there are 4 components are easily separated in standard GC and are present in cigarette smoke, as shown in figure 1b. HPLC analysis also easily separated the derivatives of formaldehyde from other carbonyl using reverse phase of HPLC. From the result, significant difference in formaldehyde in cigarette smoke by HPLC and GC analysis range from 80 to 100%. We can see that GC analysis has a higher amount of formaldehyde than HPLC analysis. That's all from me. We will move to next presenter.
In conclusion, the overall goal of the research, which was to expose students to and involve them in environmentally relevant health issues, was made. All of the samples were prepared flawlessly and the determination of formaldehyde in cigarette smoke went smoothly. As a result of an error during the experiment, the results were inaccurate. Lastly, for precaution, students should be more careful by wearing full personal protective equipment, or we call PPE, during any experiment in a chemical laboratory to avoid direct inhalation of chemicals. No reuse of the chemical substance and should throw it into the blue bin after done the experiment.
That's all from us. Thank you for lending your ears.